In the previous lesson, we saw how we can create different types of screenshots using different styles that we can apply to our visualization in Enscape for ARCHICAD. So we can use more technical views or more realistic or like watercolors and like drawing effects. So we can just mix and get the effect that we want. So in this case, I left some lines here, some outlines, but you can basically set up the view however you want. Now, the power of Enscape is also that you can navigate, you can explore, you can move around the scene in real time, just like a video game. So it's an interactive app that is really interesting to use to show the project, not just using, basic and static images or renders, but also like moving around and exploring. So we're gonna see more tools in this lesson here. We're gonna go on the top toolbar, and I extended a little bit the window, the Enscape window, so that we can see all the buttons and the commands in the toolbar on the top. And so we are exploring little by little all the features here that we have. So we started from basic, and then we're gonna move on into the others. Now we saw that we can put some annotation in our project. We can like point out some issues or something, or give some communication to people who are interested. And then we saw how we can manage the views, how we can create specific views, so like setting up cameras and the exposure. And we also saw how we can put library assets inside, meaning 3D models like people or plants or furniture, etc., etc. And then this is the screenshot button to run a render. So you can see there is a separation line because this part here is about like exporting the work. So the quickest way you can do that is by clicking on a screenshot. And then you have other tools like, for example, Impact, that it's available with a specific license. So screenshot is probably the first thing you're gonna do, is to create some images. And this is a folder of screenshots, but this is the standard image folder on your computer. So you can change that by going into the folder of your project, as I've done, and creating a folder called screenshots. So once you do that, you can save the images in there. And those are the images that you just saw at the beginning of the video. So I'm exporting now another screenshot from here so that we can see it. And I'm going to show you a couple of extra tools here, additional tools. So one is the Minimap, and this is for exploration. So you can see it shows your project like from a plan view. So the little point there, the little sign, that's where your character is, where your camera is, and it's also showing the furniture inside. So it's really handy to move around and explore the scene. And then we have, next to that, we have the save frames. Now the save frames also are important because that's the actual area that you are rendering. So you're not rendering the entire window, but just what's inside that save frame. So what's inside this picture without the black stripes. So when I render, as I already done, you can see that it's similar to what I see in the window, except for the fact that when you do a screenshot and you render, you're gonna have better quality than real time, of course. So if I select this image and right click on this image and I go to the properties, I can see the details. So everything that it's about this image. You can see it's a PNG format, and then in the details panel, you see the resolution, which right now is Full HD, but we can also change that. Now, the more resolution you have, the better rendering and the more details you're gonna have. So if you want to change that, we're gonna go back to the visual settings that we saw before. So up here, the little eye icon on the toolbar, all the way to the right, and also we have here the perspective. We already changed that, and my suggestion is to use the 2 points perspective because it's going to make straight vertical lines, and that's better when you do in architecture in general. So I would set here the 2 points, and I will keep that. And then you have fly mode, walk mode, again, to explore the scene interactively, and also to have collisions when you have in walk mode. If you have a headset, VR, virtual reality visor, you can see this also with your headset, and it's going to be a more immersive and interactive experience. And next to that, we have the visual settings that we already used in the previous video. We used the first panel here, but if we go all the way to the right, we have the output panel, and this is where you decide the resolution, which right now, as you can see, is Full HD, but can become also Ultra HD, so it's going to have more quality, it's going to be better. You also have a customized format possibility, so you can put any number of pixels here. So if I say like 2000 times 500 pixels, you can see it's going to be a really narrow stripe, but you can do that if you want, or you can make it square. You can make any format that you want. So let's say I want to do like 2000 times 1000. And also you have others, so HD, and then you have this other one right here, and then you have the window. The window is going to render actually what's in the window. If you want, you can also use that. So I'm going to go in the customizable one, the last one, and it's going to be 2000 times 1000. I have my save frame on, so I can see actually what I will see and not see in the final render. Now in the image section here, you have other options that you can use. So we can export also the object IDs, material ID, the depth of field, and the alpha channel. If you want to use the alpha channel, choose PNG or a format that supports alpha channel and apply the alpha channel to mark it on. And then select the folder again. In my case, I want to specify this specific folder, and then you can automatically name. And then there are other settings here for video and panoramas, but we're going to see this later on. So I'm just going to close and export again. So once I'm finished here, if I run another screenshot, it's going to take a little bit more time. Depends on the resolution. And then when I open the folder, I will find not just the realistic image, the final image, but also the alpha channel. So where the transparency is and what is not, the depth of field, so the depth, and then I have material ID and then object ID, and all these can be used in graphic design software like Photoshop, or also video editing software like After Effects or Premiere Pro to select quickly parts of the scene or just remove the background, etc., etc. Now let's talk about materials. Let's go into more into depth with that. We previously saw that we can access a sample page in the Enscape website from Chaos, and we can get this material exhibition Enscape materials. So this is a really useful resource that I actually placed in another folder. So let me retrieve it. I put this in the Enscape for Rhino course. So, but you can put it anywhere you want. Here in the samples, so it's going to be an exe file. So it's just a small app that you can open, you can run. So double click on it and just open it. Wait just a few seconds and you're gonna see the loading window here with the Enscape splash screen. So here we are, and you can move again with the same keys that you already know by now. So WASD, and then you have EQ to move around. Now, what I can suggest here is just double click on the material that you like, so you can get real close and you can see the actual effect, because this is using like level of detail. So the more you move far away, the less quality they will have, but they will also be faster and less heavy to render. So you can move around and explore. You have a lot to see here, and these are the ones that are already in use. So these are just presets, so you don't need to work on them. You can just download them and apply, import them in your project and apply them. So you have